Let's make chicken ogbono soup in grandma's clay pot. So you start by washing properly your chicken. When washing, use lime, lemon, or vinegar to wash your chicken. When your chicken is washed, allow it to dry a bit, then begin your process. I added in my onion, ginger, and garlic paste, which I blended together, added in some salt, and here is the star ingredient, Ajinomoto. Ajinomoto has this very sharp taste which you need to cook it from the beginning of whatever you're cooking. You don't want to start cooking Ajinomoto halfway, because it has some kind of so please try to cook it properly when you want to use it. Then I added in dry garlic, dry ginger, and thyme. These are all I'll be using. Then salt and 2 or 3 cubes. I stir and turn. Then I allow it sit for a bit before turning on the heat. That's to allow it marinate for a while. I turn down the heat and place in the clay pot on the heat. There's something about clay pot. It takes time to catch heat. It takes time to get hot. But once it gets hot, it takes time to cool off. So if you want to use it, make sure you know how to properly use it. So now I am beginning to steam my chicken. I steamed it without water. This is the point where I'm adding water, where my people will say za a tsayar da ruwan miya. So this is exactly what I'm doing. This is the water I am going to be using, and these are the peppers I'll be using. I had green sweet chilies, I had shambo, I have habanero, and here is the star ingredient, dawa dawa. There is no ogbono without dawa dawa. You want to add the dawa inside your ogbono soup. It gives it a different taste. It gives it a sweeter, delicious taste. So these are the blends: the pepper, onion, ginger, garlic blend. This is the point where you begin to make your soup. So I added in some washed chopped guamo, and I have my stock fish. I'm throwing them in. Then I'll stir and then cover and allow. Okay, I'll add in the palm oil. You may omit this part. You may add in your palm oil, or you may not add palm oil, since you're adding palm oil into your ogbono to mix. So because I use cubes to boil the chicken. That's for the chicken. So now I'm using 4 cubes, and I added salt. After adding the palm oil, I added salt, I added Maggi. Now I'm not adding any spices. I've already spiced the meat the way I want it. That's enough. So now I will stir. Then I had to add in this remaining grounded peppers, because the heat I was looking for I didn't get. So after adding, I stirred and then cover my pot. These are my cleaned crayfish. I clean my crayfish before using it. So I blended it, I dry blended it, and I add more than half, because I had a filled jar of crayfish. So more than half into the pot. I'll keep the remaining for further and later use. So I'm covering the pot to allow it to come to a boil. Here I added in some palm oil, a little, into my ogbono, and I want to steam it, because I am supposed to steam it in the pot of ogbono soup, but I know I can't remove the bowl if I place it in here. That's why I did a separate pot and added in some little water just to steam it for me. So now the ogbono is steamed. I removed it out of the hot water. I added into my pot of soup. I added in some iru, washed iru. Please make sure you wash your iru before using it. I added in the remaining crayfish. I'll stir and stir and stir till my ogbono gets together. At this point, I began to panic. Did I get a good ogbono? Because this ogbono does not look the way I want it. Is not drawing the way it should. So kilo shele. So okay, now the journey continues, and at this point I began to like, okay, this person that got me this ogbono really tried, because she got me a good ogbono. And here, why I use this organic clay pot to make ogbono is because what is ogbono without burnt taste in it? With this clay pot, I will allow the ogbono cook and cook and cook. So here I introduced my frozen ugu leaf. which I had in the freezer, and it was washed and cut, so I just kept it there. And I added in some green onions. That's the leaves we have in there. Now I'll taste to correct my seasoning to be sure I don't need to add anything. After tasting, I knew it was okay because ogbono is a delicious soup on its own, so it tends to be sweeter when it stays. You don't want too much. Now this is the process of cooking it. I allowed it cook till I had a bottom pot burnt ogbono flavor, and wow, you just need to try this recipe. You need to save this video because this is a different method of making ogbono. Remember, we used chicken, we used stockfish, we use this is our sweet chicken ogbono.